Have you ever stopped to think about what it really takes to build a human being? I mean, forget construction sites and blueprints. The most complex, most radical renovation project on the entire planet happens inside the human body. So today, we're going to dive into the incredible physiological remodel that is pregnancy.
It's a question that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's just biological fact. See, the body doesn't just make a little extra room for a new life, no, it completely re-engineers itself from the ground up to support it. The whole process is an absolute masterpiece of adaptation.
And just to give you an idea of the sheer scale of this remodel, let's start with one single staggering number. During pregnancy, the uterus, which is really the epicenter of it all, increases its capacity by at least 500 times. 500 times! That's kind of like a small closet suddenly expanding to the size of a living room. It's wild.
All right, so where does all this begin? Well, the body's first order of business is what we're calling Mission 1, building the foundational infrastructure. And this isn't just about making space, it's about creating an entire life support system completely from scratch.
Okay, so to put that 500x increase into some real perspective, the uterus goes from weighing about 60 grams, the weight of a tennis ball, to a full kilogram. And its capacity? It skyrockets from just 2 measly teaspoons to over 5 liters. We're talking about a total structural overhaul here.
Now, to support all this new construction, the body's own systems need a massive upgrade. The cardiovascular system especially gets a complete refit. The best way to think about it is like upgrading all the plumbing and the main engine in your house to handle a much, much bigger job.
And a huge part of that upgrade is this number, a 45% increase in total blood volume, on average. The body literally creates more blood. And why does it do that? Well, it's to make sure there's a constant, rich supply of oxygen and nutrients getting to the placenta and, of course, to the growing fetus. So what is all this extra blood actually made of? Well, the watery part, the plasma, that increases by about half, which, funny enough, actually improves blood flow. At the same time, the red blood cell count goes up to carry all that extra oxygen. So you get this amazing twofold benefit. It nourishes the baby, and it gives the mother a crucial safety buffer against blood loss during delivery.
Okay, so the infrastructure is in place. Now we get to Mission 2, rerouting the fuel lines. The body now has to power 2 beings instead of just one, and the way it does this is with some incredible metabolic genius.
So what do we even mean when we say pregnancy metabolism? Well, you can think of it as a total reimagining of how the body uses every single resource: water, protein, fat, you name it. The entire goal is maximum efficiency, making sure every single calorie gets used in the smartest way possible. Okay, and here is where it gets really, really clever. The body intentionally makes itself slightly insulin resistant. It's called a diabetic-genic state. And what this does is it forces the mother's own cells to use fat for energy. It's a brilliant move because it saves the best fuels, the glucose and amino acids, for the fetus who desperately needs them for all that rapid growth.
And all of this adds up to a complete resource management overhaul. The body strategically hangs on to extra water to expand fluid volume, it accumulates protein to build all the new tissues, and it stores fat as a critical energy reserve. And, like we just saw, it masterfully prioritizes the best fuel, carbohydrates, for the baby.
So you have all of these profound internal changes happening. The new plumbing, the rerouted fuel lines, and eventually that leads us to Mission 3, the visible signs of change that we all associate with pregnancy.
That huge surge in hormones and all the increased blood flow starts to show up on the surface. Something like 90% of women experience hyperpigmentation, which is just a darkening of the skin, leading to things like the linea nigra. Stretch marks, or striae, appear as the skin has to accommodate all that rapid growth. These are really just the external markers of that massive internal remodel.
And of course, it's not just the skin on the abdomen. The breasts undergo their own significant transformation too. They increase in size and sensitivity as they get ready for their future role, sometimes even producing colostrum, which is that early milk, long before the baby ever arrives.
So when you add up all these changes, the extra fluid, the new tissue, the stored fat, and the baby itself, it all adds up. An average weight gain during a typical pregnancy is about 12.5 kilograms, or around 27.5 pounds. But the really interesting question is, where does all that weight actually go?
And this is the crucial part to understand. The baby is only part of the story.
The fetus, the placenta, and all that amniotic fluid, that accounts for about 5 kilos of the total weight gain. The rest of it, more than 7 kilos, that comes from the mother's own body in the form of stored fat, increased blood volume, and all that new tissue in the uterus and breasts.
So when you put all of these missions together, building the life support, rerouting the fuel, and the physical expansion, you're really left with just one conclusion. This is the body's absolute masterpiece. You know, every single adjustment we've looked at, from that tiny microscopic shift in insulin sensitivity to the massive expansion of the uterus, none of it is happening in isolation. It is all part of a perfectly timed, intricately coordinated physiological symphony, with every single instrument playing its part for one single, incredible purpose. And it all kind of leaves you with this final thought. This profound remodel, which pushes the very boundaries of human biology, is a normal, natural process. So what does this incredible transformation really teach us about the hidden power, the resilience, and just the sheer potential of the human body?